Hello and welcome to Behind the Scenes look on Holoception and Holonautic a little bit in general. Next to me is Dennis, aka Acetylene.
Hi, and next to me is Roger, aka Oculus.
And we will talk a little bit of what we have been working on since early December, since we released the free demo on Holoception. And we go a little bit into detail what we are focusing on and what we plan to release in the next few weeks and months ahead.
Yeah, Holoception now has been in early access, out for almost 2 months and a half. And we are still actively developing it because we have many ideas what we will work on further, and there is a lot of stuff we want to test.
Also, what we saw from a lot of users which play Holoception, that the beginning is really hard. We might have made it a little bit too hard, especially in the beginning, because there's so many things happening, coming towards you, where you're still learning the controls. So the main thing which we are currently exploring a little bit is a different mode compared to the traditional wave-based shooter which we currently have in the game, as we got a lot of feedback where people wanted to have more puzzly approach or more an exploration type of element inside the game. And we're currently working on figuring out how to best mix that with the third-person emotion, that it's something that gives you more the opportunity to engage into combat or to explore a level and explore different rooms, rather than the game throwing waves of enemies at you and you just have to defeat them. There's a little bit more of a purpose to it. We are very early stages still, because for that mode we'll completely have to redo the AI, as well as a lot of other optimizations that it will actually work. Specifically because we also are focusing on the next platform which we're going to port Holoception to, and this is the Quest. And basically everything we add from now on to the game will have to be compatible with the Quest version, and Dennis will tell you a little bit more on the challenges we have.
As you all know, Holoception is mostly a physics-based game. It's mostly about fast action, fast reaction, and having a lot of satisfying stuff you can do in the game, and very interactive. So that's one of the main challenges we have to solve for the Quest, is to determine what are the limitations we have to deal with. So we already prototyped quite a lot with a very simple setup. First we start with the player interaction, like the whole incarnation system, the hybrid camera system, what are the limitations we can have, that you can fully zoom in, fully zoom out. And then using an iterative approach, we first added a first enemy, and we see what you can do with that it doesn't create any performance issue. Having one gun, having multiple guns, having the melee weapons, trying out the new stabbing mechanics we recently introduced, and see if that has any impact on performance on the Quest. Oh yeah, and of course the first time we ported the first prototype to the Quest, well, nothing worked as expected because so many things can go wrong.
No, I don't want to hug you. But we added already the new stabbing mechanic, which we have currently in the development build, and we have basically one enemy. And we spent a few hours just basically stabbing the enemy and seeing how the physics behaves, right?
Yeah, as many of you requested directly in our Discord from the community, you wanted stabbing, because you could already slice enemy, dismember enemy, grab them, throw them, and do a lot of stuff. And of course stabbing was one of the main things which was missing, which of course we always wanted to add, but that's a more complicated issue to solve, to have proper stabbing that feels natural and satisfying.
So the stabbing is working better than I expected on the Quest, actually, and all the physics surprisingly actually work quite well.
We received a lot of feedback from the community that maybe they wanted something more than just an arena mode with just enemy coming at you and attacking you all the time. So we have been exploring and trying a few different approaches that maybe the player has more a sense of, okay, I am acting and triggering the combat. So Roger has been experimenting a little bit recently with a more room-based approach. Maybe you can tell us a little more?
Yeah, so the main feedback we got is the game has a lot of potential. That's basically what we always hear. And the problem is that the arena-based mode, we also discovered it ourselves, is maybe not highlighting all the different aspects of that third-person, first-person system in the perfect way. Because the overview which you get is in the current arena mode not that much highlighted than it could be in other game modes. So that's we started to experiment with maybe an approach where you, instead of you standing there and everything attacks you, that you basically explore the environment and you decide with what you want to engage or what you want to avoid or where you want to sneak by, etc. And those ideas are there, but of course it requires a little bit of reworking from AI to a whole system which actually can handle this. And that is currently, we have a small little prototype internally where we have tested, and it's actually a lot more fun than we initially expected. We had quite a bit of fun just with a very small little level to explore and engage with the combat with the new AI we are working on, including of course puzzles and using more the environment as well as a weapon. Those things we are currently exploring and seeing where we can bring it.
Allowing different paces in the game is definitely something that was missing, and the ability to switch between a more relaxed, interactive or puzzle room approach, and then you go to fight whenever you want. That's something we wanted to explore.
And until next time, cheers. Cling, cling.